everyone. So we have the first iteration of the Oracle Analytics Data Visualization Optimization Workshop. This is our community edition. We will go into the next slides, but before I do that, I want to confirm that my voice is loud enough. I heard some people say that I am very quiet, so I want to make sure that now that I'm projecting, it's a little
It's
bit better.
perfect. Perfect,
Great.
Jamie. Perfect.
Okay. Sometimes I don't want to yell at people, so I try to keep it quiet. But please feel free to chime in if I get too low. With that, I will show our safe harbor statement here just for a few seconds, and then also our forward-looking statement. All right, so today I am your coordinator and host. My name is Jamie Anderson. I am a Senior Principal Product Manager on the Oracle Analytics Product Strategy team. I'm joined by a great panel of Oracle employees and also our community guests today. I will introduce them throughout the webinar, but also what we're going to do is I'm going to kind of touch on why we had this webinar and how we kind of score data visualizations internally. So first, what we have is this internal Oracle Analytics data visualization score. And in the slides that I'm going to show you next, I am going to show how we kind of contrasted the original data visualization, which was at an advanced level, and then the visualization that we ended up creating is now at an expert level. So let me show you that. So in today's call, we want to highlight our community spotlight with their dashboard. This is the dashboard that we said is at that advanced level, right? But next, we want to show you how we take that to the next level, to that advanced level. Going forward here, if you want to follow along during the presentation, we have the capability to do that. I am going to right now put the credentials in the chat and also the link, which give me 1 second. I actually didn't put the link on the thing, but let me go ahead and put the credentials in the chat and I will get the link to you guys here shortly. So it's going the username I'm going to put. All right, and then also let me get the link for you guys. Apologize about that. I just didn't put that in my notes here for today. So give me 1 second.
I will put the link. Is it the link for the post, Jamie?
I have it.
Okay, good.
I'm almost there. Here we go. Okay. The link should be in the chat. So if you use the username and password, that should be available for today's call. And then you guys can navigate as a consumer to both of the workbooks. Again, this is in the consumer mode. What we want to do, and as I have on the screen here, we do want to have this available in the public gallery, the OAC public gallery in the future. And then that's probably going to be in July when the July instance is released. And then our July release is released. And then maybe we might even have the DVA loaded as well in the future. We'll see what that looks like. And one more thing, this is important. If you have questions about the workbook, we really encourage you to post on the community site, whether it's about the workbook. I actually have this workbook in the data visualization gallery, so if you can navigate there. And if you have questions throughout the webinar, go ahead and ask there. Also, if you have questions about Oracle Analytics, you can use any of the Idea Labs or forums that we have. I do see that some people's access was blocked via their firewall. Hopefully not everyone's running into that issue. I do see a few people, so I apologize for that today. You will get to see, though, like on screen, us navigating. So and we do have some confirmation, so that's great to hear. Thank you.
And one thing, just for some that didn't see it, so username is consumer and password welcome one. It was above the URL of Jamie. I put it again in the chat if someone missed it.
Thank you, Ben. Great. So now that we have that introduction out of the way, we are going to have our analytics and data visualization expert commentary. And then we will actually showcase our creator who is here with us today. Then we will have a design expert commentary and technical expert commentary as well. Finally, we'll have some optimization takeaways and the conclusion. So first, I would like to introduce Siva. Siva Haranath is the Group VP of Software Development for Oracle Analytics Service Excellence. Siva, would you like to tell us why we had this webinar series today and any other notes you want to mention to the crowd?
Definitely. Thank you, Jamie. First of all, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are joining from, anywhere in the world. It's been a great turnout, like more than 150 people I see on the call. So thank you again for all of you for coming and joining this. I've been here in Oracle over 3 years, like meeting with various customers. One of the common things I keep hearing as I meet with customers, like I want to create great reports and with great visualizations. I want to be able to tell a story to my executives. This is one of the things commonly I kept hearing. So as part of this, Ben, one of the things which Ben had done, which you all might be aware of, is the data visualization challenge, right? So we had a sample data set and a lot of them participated and submitted. I was able to go and see what are the various things that people have created. I was definitely amazed by a lot of this. And then definitely encourage each and everyone to go to the community and learn from that. That is the first step which we did. Then the second thing, which based on requests from various customers, how do we go about providing suggestions? I think you saw the slide from Jamie with respect to how do you move from learner or beginner to expert, right? So that's something which we wanted to highlight and educate everyone. And obviously, there are a lot of books and research in terms of how do you author amazing reports from various different people. But we want to make sure we can provide these suggestions, tips, and best practices in a much, much simpler manner because these books might take a really long time to read. So it's a collective effort from the core V team who are here, from design and report authoring and everyone who were here in this call. And what we wanted to highlight is take an example report and how do we make this even great? And what are the key things that we have learned as part of this, so that we want to educate each and every single person so that you can be successful in your role within your organization. And if you have additional suggestions, we would love to hear from you. So I want to hear, okay, what are the various things that you've learned so that we as a community together learn and make this amazing for all users of Oracle Analytics Cloud users, as well as Fusion Data Intelligence. If you're authoring reports, want to make sure this is great for everyone. So that's that. We're starting the series. Please provide feedback, start the discussion, as Jamie mentioned, in the community. We would love to hear from you and make this as a series, including some of them of you in the call. If you're experts, we would love to learn from you as well, so that we learn as a community together.
Great, thank you,
Thank you,
Siva.
James. Yeah.
Next, I have Benjamin Arnolf. He is the Senior Director of Product Strategy in the Oracle Analytics team. So, Ben, I will pass it to you.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Jamie, and welcome everyone for this data visualization series. We are really, really happy to launch that. As you know, and as Siva said, we had our first global data visualization challenge at Oracle. It just finished. We have the winners, and some of them are here today. Thank you for submitting your data visualization. We will have a new data visualization challenge soon for this, I think in 2026. Maddie in our team is launching that, and we look forward for you to join it. We are really happy to launch this series. That was, I think, Siva that really, really wanted this type of webinar to help everyone to know how to do a better dashboard. So first, what I will do, I'm going to show you 10 different tips on how to do a better dashboard, a better data visualization, a better infographic. So let me share my screen really quick, and I'm going to be here. And hold on, I think I saw an option that I never saw. I'm going to try that. Not too sure about that one. Let's see. Is it cool, Jamie, like that?
I like it.
Okay, let's try it. Okay, I don't know where I am. If I'm going to block something, I don't have the view, but anyway, let's try. Okay, so how to do best visualization? I give you 10 tip and trick. So first, focus on the data to insight to decision. Too many times I see dashboard where people throw like ton of different chart, visualization, graph, line. They try to show the maximum of data, but in fact they don't realize that they are going to show this dashboard to someone, and this someone want to pick up just one insight from it and get a decision. So focus on the decision. What do you want the person which is going to look at your dashboard to take as a decision? If it's a sales dashboard, what type of decision they want to improve the sales by a specific area or something else. Two, consider a dashboard a blank canvas for your work of art. Think about it as the data is very important, but the way you present it, it's also very important. If you bring just a table, well, you are like 90% of people, when they show data in a table. Try to be in the 10% that show, I don't know, a satellite view with a heat map on it, a scatter plot showing the outlier. So try to make this data to pop, not just to show one unique number. Give your
Adrian,
dashboard. Yep.
could you change your image back just because your text is on that side of
Oh,
the
it's on that side.
screen?
Okay,
That's where
let's
it's
try
flooding
to
your
go back
face.
to normal. Okay, is it working or still me on there?
It's still you on there. We
Okay,
see
let
most
me
of the
see how.
text, but it's just
Okay,
a
I'm
few
going to do
pictures
like
locked.
this. That
There we
might be
go.
better.
Perfect. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Give your dashboard a title. So same thing, a lot of people put dashboard, but the first thing we do, we look at it and we say what it is about. You cannot imagine the number of time I work with CFO, with CIO, and the first thing they say when they see a dashboard, what is it about? What I'm supposed to look at? So first, make it like a PowerPoint. Put a specific title. Bonus point if you put a description. Bonus point if you put a footer. Bonus point if you put a little description for each visualization. That it's helping to put some context to your data visualization. To be honest, every time I'm starting to do a data visualization, I always think about how is it going to look if I build that in a PowerPoint. So try to do something a little bit like that, and then you can go more hardcore on the infographic type. I'm going to move a little bit faster. Include data visualization context. So again, I say it, description, footer, header, logo. Try to help the audience to understand what is your data visualization. Ensure the load speed is close to second. I work with a lot of different tools, Power BI, Tableau Server, Oracle Analytics Cloud, Domo, and so on and so on. And some tools, sometimes, if you have too many columns, too many things in your data model, they are going slow. I'm not going to name Tableau, but it could happen. So remember, try to have your dashboard loading really fast. And if you click on a specific menu, it should go fast also. If not, you are losing your audience. It's like having an advertising ad in the middle of a movie. It's not really cool. Keep maintenance in mind when you build a dashboard. If someone like your dashboard is going to ask you to redo and refresh this dashboard every week, every day, or every month. So remember, when you build it, think about how you are going to refresh it every day, every week, every month. It seems stupid, but a lot of dashboard start to become really not functional or not operational because people forget about that, and then it's a mess to refresh. People look at the dashboard with old data, and then it's not meaningful anymore. Don't forget about the logo and branding. If you work for Nike, if you work for the NASA, if you work for Harvard or whatever, try to use the color theme. Try to use the logo. Try to put the picture of your CIO, your CEO, sometime as a profile picture if it's a dashboard for them. Try to make it blend into your corporate theme. With KPI, less is more. The public dashboard of the main is excellent. They put the right KPI on it. Usually best practices, it's 4 KPI or 6 KPI maximum at the top. So remember, try to focus on what is the most important. You can work with McKinsey or different companies like Deloitte or Accenture, and they will always tell you start to focus top down. So you focus on 6 KPI, and then you can drill down to the base and show a little bit more. Don't forget about the footer. That's my obsession. It's the first thing I look in the data visualization, thanks to the New York Times and to Bloomberg data visualization. You can see they do some type of visualization like this: title, subtitle, author, the header, some icon, a way to interact with the viz, and then a footer. What is the source? What is the note? Who did that? So that's very important to bring a point of view to your data visualization. And finally, the last one, filter your filter use. We see a lot of data visualization like this with 10, 20, 50 filters. Like, why not? Try to remove as maximum, put just 1 or 2 unique filter. If you need, put some filter on the viz itself. Patrick is going to show that, and Cyril also, and then it's going to help. So again, thank you very much. I'm going to have Jamie share the visualization on her side. A last thing that I will say is that we really want you to upscale your type of visualization design. So please take some note. Please go to the community. Try to submit your next data visualization. We have close to 200 data visualization now, and we want to see more and more coming in the future. We will show you soon a new blog with a pyramid that Jamie showed you with a different level. We want all of you to be at the advanced level or expert level, and we will explain how you can go to this level in the future. We have a matrix that we invented with different points that you can get by different levels. So if you put a footer, you will have a certain amount of points and so on. So we will share that later. Back to you, Jamie. Thanks.
Great, thank you, Ben. And I did see a comment on if this presentation that you shared will be available in the after the presentation. So maybe we can include maybe a PDF of that afterwards. So we'll see. If we do add it, we will add it on the events page. So just muted myself. Next, we have our Oracle Analytics Community Data Visualization Spotlight. So before I introduce our community member that we are featuring today, I want to make you aware of the Data Visualization Gallery located on the Oracle Analytics Community site. So I have the link on the description below. I will see if I can add that in the chat as well. But all you have to do is navigate to our community site and go to the Data Visualization Gallery across the homepage. But anyone can submit a visualization in the Data Visualization Gallery with an Oracle Analytics Community account. So if you don't have one already, we encourage you to create one. It's free. It's open to anyone in the community. So next, let's see. And just a real quick question. If you do have any questions throughout the webinar, please feel free to use the Q&A in Zoom. Also, if it's once we get to the more product and dashboard related things, we do encourage you to post it on the site as well. But please use the Q&A instead of the chat. It's easier for us to keep track of them. So next, I am really excited to introduce Cyril Saunier. He is our Oracle Analytics Community Data Visualization Creator for today. He is a Senior Transformation Advisor on the CX Adoption team. He does work for Oracle, but he's not within the Oracle Analytics organization. This was actually his first time using Oracle Analytics when he created this dashboard. He created it because he joined the Data Visualization Challenge that we hosted in February. That will be an annual thing, so be on the lookout for 2026 and when we have the next one. Can't wait to release more details about that soon. But Cyril, I'd like to have you have a chance to introduce yourself, kind of your goals when creating the dashboard, and then anything else that you'd like to add. While you speak, I will switch my screen over to kind of scroll through your dashboard for those who don't have the consumer view available in the link that we shared. But yeah, I'll pass it to you. Thank you for joining us today.
No problem. It's a pleasure to be with you as as I said when we were preparing this webinar. So yes, I've been working for Oracle for the last I think 7-8 years now. I'm working in the CX part of the business. So when I saw the Oracle Analytics Cloud challenge, I thought, oh well, maybe I can try to create a nice sales dashboard, because that's what I've been doing with some of our customers, right? Working with some of the Oracle CX products, they implement our solutions, and then they say, but okay, how do I to track everything that's happening in my CRM? How do I present it? And so I thought, okay, well, I've used Oracle OTBI before, and built, I wouldn't say similar, well, I would say similar dashboard, right? And we're trying to present a sales dashboard. This one is aimed for fairly senior executive, right? It's not the dashboard that a sales manager would look at every day to check how his team is progressing and how opportunities are moving along, and things like that. It's very much for senior managers to look at the end of the year. Okay, how have we been doing? So this is a dashboard I built. I must say that it was very easy to build it with Oracle Analytics Cloud. Coming from OTBI to OAC, the adoption of the product, which is another side of my job, as a side note, what was very, very easy, right? So I very quickly understood how I could use different visualization, get the data together, and put it together. That was the easy part. So I didn't spend too long building the dashboard itself. I think, as Benjamin said in his tips and tricks, what took me a bit of time was to understand what data I had, because that's not my data. It's the sample data that was given to us, and so I didn't quite know what data I had, what information was in that data, and what I could do with it, and what would make sense if I wanted to present this to. And if it would go as high as a CEO of that company, or if it's if we'd go to at least to the sales VP, and I would say, okay, well, what data could I use, and how could I manipulate the data, and how can I present it in a way that is impactful? And going back also to one of Benjamin's tips and tricks. Okay, if they look at the dashboard, what am I looking at? So I wanted to show what happened in 2018. Was it a good year compared to the year before? Where did the business come from? What has been the evolution of the revenue? Has there been any key contribution to the profit we were making, and things like that? So the time I spent was very much on my own brainstorming. What can I present? And then once I had the idea, building some of those graphs was particularly easy. The Insight tool gave me the idea of the map. I used the Insight bulb over there, and it told me, oh yeah, maybe you can use a map. I can't remember exactly how it presented. I said, okay, well, a map. Okay, let me try. Experience I had before with other tools with maps was a little bit difficult. It was taking, not doing exactly right. And this map is more or less the final, was the first and also the final version, right? There was not a lot of work required to show that map as it is, right? That was amazingly easy to get the data on the map and to say, well, okay, I want to show the revenue per state. Originally, I wanted the revenue worldwide, but realized that the data set was only for the US. So that's not my choice to show a map of the US. That was the only data available. But then it was fairly easy to then play around with, okay, what do I, how do I show it? Do I playing with the colors a little bit, but that was one of the cool thing to show. And I thought, okay, well, that's if I'm showing that to my VP of sales, they'll see straight away, okay, great, okay, we're doing really well in California and a couple of other states, and then there's plenty of part of the US where we're not doing well. So quickly going back to decisions, well, we need to maintain what we're doing in those good states, but then we also need to look at how we can improve things in the other states. And that was kind of my train of thoughts on building this. Always like to have those infolets at the top, while like key numbers that I wanted to show, and then some graphs, some graphics. And the playing with the colors was also very very easy. There was not too much effort required there. So it was it was quite a very pleasant experience to play with it, and thinking, okay, wow, now I know when I'm speaking to our customers, as some of you probably are on the call, once we have the data, if we have good data, we can make a fairly exciting visualization. But I don't want to steal Patrick and his team's surprise, but I thought that was pretty good. Not expecting to win the competition, but I thought, okay, well, I'm quite happy when you will see what the team's done with it. I realized I need to learn a few more tricks to make it even better and get a better score on Benjamin's scoring sheet. But yeah,
Well,
that's me for the
yeah,
presentation for that dashboard.
Yeah, thank you. And we did love your visualization, and again, we think it scored very high on that matrix. And we can't wait to show you all what the team has done to the dashboard. So going forward, let me switch my view here so I can go back to showing the presentation. And I was showing that already. So Ben, I think you wanted to mention. Oops, my screen sharing's paused. Give me 1 second here. Ben, did you have a score that you wanted to show for it after this? Or I think we did kind of touch on it a little bit already.
Yeah, I don't remember. Did you want me to show something? I think
I
it
think
was. Oh
just
yeah.
I think all we had was we
Oh
did
yeah,
have
correct.
the score. So we did put it at the advanced level. It was a 25, which is the high level of advanced. But next, what we're going to show today is how to take it to that expert level. So in the remaining half of the call, that's what we're about to jump into. So thank you
And
again,
yeah, and
Cyril.
one thing for Cyril. So one thing which is very important is to notice that the audience is corporate. So what Cyril did is really a very, very good advanced dashboard at the corporate level. And it's exactly where we want people to be. We want people to be at the advanced or leader level. And if Cyril used, for example, in our matrix, one feature or one additional footer or something like that, it would have been in the leader mode, and it's where we want people to be. Expert level, it's less for corporate use, it's more for like social media, marketing, and executive and conferences. But again, best in class dashboard. So thank you very much and congrats, Cyril.
Thank you. Great. Now, next, what we're going to do is we are going to hear from our design expert. So Dustin is our senior principal user experience design expert from the UX design team at Oracle.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me today. My name is Dustin Bowder. I'm a user experience designer on the Oracle Analytics team, and I do a lot of work on dashboarding and infographics. So today I'll share with you some of the things that I did to improve the dashboard. So taking a quick before-after look at this dashboard, you can see how we made a lot of visual improvements between the two. One of the first things that I noticed when I saw this dashboard is that the numbers at the top are rendering in orange, and it could be perceived as having semantic meaning, like it's a warning or something similar. So that's one thing that I did check and see if that was in fact the case, but it wasn't. So if numbers don't have any semantic meaning, it's nice to just render them in black so that it doesn't get perceived as having meaning like you see in these percentages, which are next to it. So that's one minor adjustment that we did pretty early on. Another one that you see here is that you can see how all of the text for the header at the top, but also for the individual names, they're all in all caps. And one thing with all caps is that it can be perceived as somewhat loud and yelling. So one thing that we did here is we switched it to use sentence case, which just is a lot more friendlier feeling, but it also is easier to read. So it improves readability and just the general feel of all of these titles. You can see on the edge, we did add these slightly wider dashboard margins on the edges, as well as we increased the margins in between each of the viz, just to air it out a little bit and make it feel like there's more space. Even though in the original it was edge to edge, by bringing it in a little bit from the edges and then adding these larger margins, it just kind of helps with the flow. At the very top, you'll see here that there's this image and color strip. And one thing I did with that is, if you're on a high-res monitor, they're usually they render at 2x, which is 2 times the image size. So for example, even though this texture strip at the top is 1440 by 12, the image that I brought in is 2880 by 24. So I brought in a image that is twice the size of the footprint, and then I scaled it down in the workbook editor so that it renders sharp in my dashboard. One other improvement here, just on the general layout, you can see that in the original one, how some of these, there's text here that doesn't quite align with this one, and it kind of goes off grid on some of these around the sizing. So we created a really simple grid to follow where there's 4 columns. You can see how these are all associated with a column, and then these viz all span across 2 columns. It just gives the page a nice structure and makes it very easy to consume. And then one final update that we made is that on this original one, you can see how the titles are all in this kind of a gray scale. And so it's kind of between a black and a gray. But one thing that, again, that can help readability is to just use a primary color. And you can also use more of a gray secondary color if you have something like a description or a caption. But it's nice to have those two available rather than just kind of anchoring on a gray. So again, this is just some of the visual updates that we made to this dashboard to make it more readable, a little more aesthetically pleasing, and just generally try to improve it.
Next is the part I could see in the chat that we're all waiting for. How do we do this, right? This is where our technical expert comes in. Next we have Patrick Boubet. He's our Senior Solutions Architect of Customer Excellence at Oracle Analytics. He is the mastermind behind our what we've pushed out in that advanced version. So for the remaining time today, Patrick's going to show us how he did it. He's going to go into that author mode, walk you through the various things that he used. A few of the things off the top of my head, we have that conditional formatting. We have lots of use of parameters. Parameters is a huge feature that everyone has been asking for throughout the years, and we have it in the product now. And so we'll show you how to use it in this dashboard. So without further ado, Patrick, please introduce yourself and show us what you've done.
Yes, thanks a lot, Jamie. Can you hear me well?
We can
Yeah,
hear you, and I may have stopped your video at some point. So if you want to share your video, you're definitely welcome to.
Yeah, I'm trying, but I cannot. Let me
Okay.
share my screen.
All right.
If you can enable my video, that would be great as well. Yeah, so nice to meet you, everybody. So I'm part of the customer excellence team, and I'm specialized in UI and design and developing reports. So I was pretty happy to work on that project. Actually, improving the dashboard is something I love, and this one was a particular interesting use case. So there is 2 sides of the dashboard. So we improved the general layout and design that Justin just shared, and we also improved the interactivity. So the user can drill down and interact with the dashboard more easily. So first of all, the first thing that you can notice when we compare both dashboards is that Serif dashboard is taking the full size of my screen, and all visualizations are all stacked together, while the one that we have created is a bit more organized and is taking a limited size of my screen. This is because we use a different canvas layout. So if I'm going into the canvas author mode and I'm going into canvas properties, you can choose between AutoFit or freeform layout. Basically, AutoFit, all visualization will be all stacked together. It's quick and easy. You can just drag and drop all your visualization and they will be positioned well. And what we have done here, we use freeform. Freeform actually allow you to position all the visualization wherever you want in the canvas. It require a bit more of time, but it gives you all the flexibility to create a very nice design. Also, one of the good thing about Freeform is that you can overlay visualization on top of each other. So, for example, here I was able to put a filter visualization on top of the map visualization. I was able to put the text on top of an image, etc., etc. I was also able to put the space between all the visualization, which give a better organization of the overall workbook. On also the layout, it's important to know that you have a present mode settings. So you can decide what the consumer will see when they will open the workbook. You can even change the color of the toolbar on the top. Here, the black toolbar, you can change the color, add a logo if you want. And you can decide what is the presentation layout. So here we decided to be top center, so it is center on the screen. You can choose what will be the mobile experience. Here, you can also enable AI assistant. If I have time, I will be able to demo it later during the call. And what I've done here, I've unticked everything here, visualization toolbar. It helps having a more professional design, because usually when you go on the visualization and when you hover each visualization, you will see the toolbar that allow the consumer to add the visualization into their watch list or to expand the visualization. But for this particular workbook, we decided to remove this option. So when we go into the visualization and we hover all the visualization, it's clean and we don't see the toolbar popping up. Another quick tip as well is that when you, into the original report, when you hover the visualization, you will see a gray border that could be annoying in terms of design. So we removed it. Now, when you hover a visualization, you don't have anything that is popping up, even the border is not popping up. And here there is a quick tip to do that. So you're going into the settings, you click on a border, custom, and you will use the slider, opacity slider here to make your border transparent. So these are like quick tips to make a good design and professional design. Now I'm going to go into like the technical implication of the interactivity. So as Ben said, interactivity and filtering is very important, but we don't want to have like a big list of filters on the side. We want to use a full space for bringing insights. So the way we can drill down in OAC, we can drill down in several ways. So we can drill down using filters, but also using data action, calculation, parameters, etc. So I'm going to show some of them. What we have done especially for this workbook, we made everything dynamic. Into the original workbook, we are into the 2018 sales dashboard. So everything is fixed. So the text is fixed to 2018. The value is fixed to 2018. So if I reload the data, I will have to update everything manually. What we have done here, we created just a parameter that is going to take the latest year available on my dataset. And we are also allowing the user to select a specific year they want to focus on. When they will select on this year, all visualization obviously will update. And also all the calculation that we have done, everything is dynamic. So if you are on a subject area, or if you want to reload your dataset, the workbook will refresh automatically, even all the titles and the text box. So you have created one template and you can reuse it every time, the next year and even the year after. You have just created it once and you don't need to update it. So how to do that? In any dashboard, you can put a filter visualization that will filter all your canvas, but you can also decide what visualization will be impacted by your filter. So here I've decided that my filter will impact my map, my donut, but it will not impact my evolution visualization, because here I need to have all dates available. So even if I select 2018 here on that visualization, I need to have all years available. So when I select my visualization filter here, I can untick all the visualization I don't want the filter to impact. I didn't impact the filter on the tiles on the top here because I need the 2018 revenue, but I also need the revenue from the year before to do the year-on-year comparison. So how can I give here this 2018 revenue if the filter does not impact this calculation? So basically, I've created a parameter which is storing the value of my filter. So here I have date parameter. As you can see here, the current value is 2018. And if I change the filter here, the value of my parameter that is stored into my parameter, it changed. So here now it's 2017. And I can use the value inside this parameter into a calculation or even into my text box. I can use it anywhere into my OIC workbook. What I've done here, I've created a calculation that I called a sales year. Basically, it's the sales for the year that has been selected. And I'm just using a filter function which is saying sales using the year equal to my parameter
Patrick,
value. Yeah.
can you, sorry to interrupt you. I think it might be useful for some people if when you show a specific calculation, you post it into the chat, into Zoom, in case they want to try at home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
But it will be on specifically on that data
the
set.
DVL.
So
Yeah, no,
How
of
about-
course. Yeah. But they
Yeah,
can
how
see
about
the
this?
structure
How about-
basically.
How about we update the data visualization page for these, because there will probably be a lot of them, and then you guys can have a list. So on the post in the data visualization, we will have an update with the various
Yeah,
calculations.
that will work too. Yeah.
Okay.
okay, cool. So yes, and so same for the so here same for sales year on year. So I've created a calculation where I divide my sales for the selected year, and I divide it for the sales for the previous year. So I'm using a filter function, and I'm using another function that is called timestamp add. Basically, I remove 1 year from the year that is stored into the parameter. Just something important to keep in mind, when you use a filter and you want to bind it with a parameter, you can go in the settings, going into the filter tab here, and I bind my filter to my parameter, so it will store the value. And then you can use this parameter anywhere else in a calculation or even in a text. So as you can see here, when I change the year of my filter, it will also change all the titles. So I just need to use this string here. So add parameter with the name of my parameter inside it, and it will display the value of that parameter into my text box, which is pretty interesting if you want to create dynamic text box or dynamic titles. Something else that we have optimized is the general organization of the visualization. So we brought the map on the top left, which is the first visualization that usually focus on, because it's more impactful, and also because in the original visualization we had this evolution visualization, which is not so important because we already have the tiles with the key measures for the current year and the year-on-year evolution, which is already showing a key insight. So we decided to bring the map first. And the map, we also improved it in many ways. First of all, we've used the custom tooltip. So now when the user hover it, instead of having a classic tooltip, they have a nice narrative describing a bit more information on what they have on the map. So here I can see California generated 446,000 in revenue from 600 orders. So this is actually the data that is into my map. But then I'm adding more insights. So the average value of an order is $220. The shipment took 4 days to deliver, and the total profit was $99,000. And
Patrick,
I was
when you
able
go over
to,
each
yeah,
of the visualizations, yeah, can you click on the one that you're talking about?
yeah,
Like this is great. And I think we also had a question about the tiles and how those show. You may have showed it before, I can't remember, but you can continue with the map, but maybe if we can go back to the tiles after once we're ready for that.
yeah. I will go back to the tiles.
Oh, thank you.
So here, how I was able to create this narrative, I just brought other measures that are not present into the map visualization. So into my tooltip grammar here, I'm bringing other type of insights. And then I can click here and I can create a nice narrative by bringing all these measures. That is creating this nice narrative. Another improvement that we have done here, we made the map interactive, so we can focus on a specific state. So here, for example, if I click on California, it will autofocus on California, and I will be able to drill down and see more insight on that specific state. I was
Patrick,
able to,
one
yes,
question that we have in the Q&A that might be important for people to understand. They want to know if, but you don't have to show it now, but they want to know if on the data side, right now you show visualize and present. They want to know if at the data level you did any change compared to what Cyril did.
yeah, so it's a very good question. So I didn't make any change in the dataset. It is the exact same dataset. However,
Wow, good.
I changed the calculation. So here I have two folders. One folder which is the calculation used by Cyril. So Cyril made all these calculations to create his report, and these are the calculation I made. So it's like fewer calculation, because in each of these calculation I brought my parameter. So one calculation can serve several purposes because I have dynamic values inside my calculations.
So you simplified, not only you change few of the calculation, but you simplify without changing the data at the database level or at the data model.
No,
Yeah.
no,
Okay,
the
good.
dataset is the same. Just the
Thank you.
calculations have been changed. Yeah, I realize that I don't have a lot of time. So if I go back to what was the question on the types, Jamie? Sorry.
I think just to click within them to see which measures are being drawn in. So yes, okay.
Yeah, so in the tiles we have each measure. So we have sales, we have profits, we have orders, and we have average order value. So these are the measures that we used from here. So from the dataset that I didn't change. The only thing that I've done is that I've created a calculation that is selecting the sales for a particular year, for the year that has been selected in the canvas. Why I used calculation instead of using the filter? I've done this because I wanted into my tile to have a year-on-year evolution measure as well, side to side with my year analysis. So I had to, in my tile, I need to have 2018 revenue, but I also need to have my 2017 revenue to do the comparison. So it's why I use parameter in my calculation to bring two dates. And here I was able to create another calculation to do the year-on-year analysis. And also one side note on the tiles is the conditional formatting. So here I didn't change the conditional formatting from Cyril because it was good. So you can select which column will be impacted by the conditional formatting and what are the conditions. And then you can choose if you can change the color, the fonts, add an icon, a legend, or a note. You can do a lot of things into the conditional formatting here. I'm going to go quick because I only have 5. Can I use the last 5 minutes, or should I stop, Jamie?
I am personally okay if we go over and then we can use the recording. Ben, I will let you chime in as well on your.
No, I think it's perfect. I'm sure some people will have to leave, but I think at this stage we have a lot of questions on what you did, Patrick. So we can continue even for 15 more minutes, and we can invite people to watch the recording on YouTube after that.
Yep, perfect. Another optimization we have done here. So when we look at the other authorization, so here we have one donut that is showing the subcategory, and we wanted the user to choose which dimension they want to analyze. So here the user can select between subcategory or category, and then we change the dimension that is displayed into the visualization. We were able to do that with the same technique. We use a parameter. My parameter is here. It is called dimension. I only have category and subcategory as a value that I put into my filter. So the user can select, can change the value of that parameter. And then the value of the parameter is used into another calculation where I just say, when you see category, then display the category dimension. When you see subcategory, then display the subcategory dimension. And then you can easily change the dimension and the attribute that you have into your visualization simply by changing the value of the parameter inside your filter. Other optimization we have done into these Vs, usually people like to change the time dimension. Sometimes we show by year, but they want to see it by quarter or by month. Same logic here as well. We use a parameter and we use this parameter value to change the dimension that we have into the visualization. So I will not spend too much time on it. What is interesting into that one, we use one of the AI feature, which is the contextual insight. So here the user can have more insight can drill down into the visualization by just clicking right and click on explain. And here it will add additional insights on attributes that are not even present into the visualization. So here the particular use case will be, okay, it's interesting. I have less revenue in 2016. Why is that? I want to quickly see the insights on that year. So they will click on explain selected and having all these great insights and drilling down on this. So I can see the states, I can see the ship mode that has been used. I can see the top customers or the top products. I can even find new insights in it that will bring even more additional insights. So here I have the customer names.
And Patrick,
So-
how did you activate that again?
Yeah, yes. So I was about to tell it. So to activate this kind of feature, you go into this little arrow here and you enable explain visualization. And in the grammar, you have to put all the related column, all the related attributes you want to bring into this visualization to allow the user to drill down and to get more insight. So just inside one visualization, they can get even more insights than what they see by interacting with it. Another optimization we have done here into this first visualization, we use a feature that has been released not a long time ago, which is the visibility parameter. So the visibility parameter can allow to change from one visualization to another. So I use a parameter value, and I use the visibility parameter. So when I click on a visualization and I'm going into the properties here, I can decide when the visualization will be visible or not. And as I used a freeform canvas layout, I can overlay several visualizations on top of each other, and I can decide when the visualization will be visible or not. So I can switch my visualization depending on what the consumer wants to see. Cyril has done something interesting as well into his visualization. He used a plugin, Oracle Analytics extension. There are many extensions that you can find that serve a different purpose. So here it's an animation of the sales by state. So you can see the animation of the sales from year to year. So when I'm going here and I click on animation, I see the animation that is moving, which is interesting. Another optimization we have done here, it's really a quick one. Here, originally, Cyril has shared the top 14 states. Still, it was like a static value. What we are doing here, we are using a filter, and we allow the user to choose the top 10 or whatever, so they can change the value. And I bound the parameter to use this value into another canvas. So now my top 10 sales impact another visualization as well. So you can also use
one addition for what Patrick say, we put the link in the chat. If you want to download the plugin that Patrick used, you can click on extension and then it will be the racing plugin.
I'm going to go quick on the last optimization we have done on the scatter plot. So Cyril has created a scatter plot, which is very interesting when you have a lot of data points to analyze. However, sometimes can be difficult to analyze because there are too many data points. And to make it more clear, we used some of the AI feature which is called statistics. So you go into visualization, you click on the arrow and you can add statistic. So you can add a cluster, outliers. You can even create a forecast when you have a timeline visualization. You can choose the algorithm that is used, and this cluster will be directly integrated into your visualization, and you can even add this cluster into your calculation. So you can use this calculation in another visualization if you want. So I think that's all on that visualization. I just wanted to end with the final, I would say, optimization, which is the AI assistant, which is going to impact how we build, we design reporting and visualization. So now you can, as a consumer, in the July release, as a consumer, you can now use the AI assistant. So I'm a consumer and I'm seeing this great visualization showing my sales by states, by subcategory. I see the evolution by segment, etc. But I'm a high stakeholder, but I have some question on specific product. So I can ask my assistant to go deeper into the dataset, even if the data has not been brought into the visualization here. So let's ask my AI assistant, show me the top 10 product by sales in 2018. So product was not shared into the visualization, but it is present into the dataset. So I can ask it into my AI assistant, and my AI assistant will generate a visualization, especially on that. I don't like this bar chart like this, so I want it as a horizontal bar chart. So I'm just going to ask the assistant to change the visualization to an horizontal bar chart so I can better see the name of the product. And I can even iterate on that. So I don't want this to be on all products. I want this to be only on the tech products. And even if I didn't spell it right, I just said tech, I didn't say technology, the AI assistant will be able to find the correct value inside the columns. And I can expand the visualization. As you can see here that the AI system was able to choose the category technology, even if I just asked, I want tech. And the AI system was able, just in like 3 prompts, generate different visualization, add filters, do some quick calculations. And you will see in the July feature, there is even more capacity for the assistant to generate complex calculations. This is like also a nice improvement that we can share to all consumers for all workbooks now.
If you're following along on the environment that we provided, you may not have access to that because that environment does not have a link to the underlying LLM, but in the July release, it should, just to note.
Jamie, I want to share maybe one or two things on top of what Patrick did. I'm going to share really quick. It will take 1 sec. Let's see here. And I'm going to share my screen. And then, Patrick, thank you very much. I think you will see in the Q&A, Patrick, you have we replied a lot of questions for you, but I think some people might want to see a full blog of all the things you did, all the changes. So that might be something you want to release in the future, a blog or maybe even a post on the community, which is providing even more than that because if I want to know all the detail. Few things. So again, what Patrick did, which is very important, before he has the year here in the title, he removed the year because the year is now dynamic for everything. So he replaced by a contextual thing that is the US sales dashboard. He put a very brief description. This description, I think we didn't show, or maybe we did, I don't remember. Let me see if I have access to this instance here, not here. But basically what you can do is to right-click on inspect on the specific data set and auto-generate the description using GenAI in the dataset to describe the dataset. Or Patrick showed it also, you can use the AI assistant and say, hey, describe what is this dataset about, and you will get this description of the dashboard. Another thing, two different things, you can see that just adding a colorful bar at the top is making this dashboard looks very neat. Having a background which is also using an image and the background color of the same type is good. And one thing that I really like that Patrick did, it's at the bottom here, a footer. Before it was just writing here by Cyril, but here now you have a picture of Cyril, which is like LinkedIn. And if you click, it's going to show you the profile of Cyril on the community. Normally, if it's opening on my side, I'm going to check again. Okay, it's coming. So now you are using Oracle Community. You can see where is Cyril. You can see his email if you want to speak with Cyril about his data visualization. You can see all the discussion of Cyril here. You can see what he's asking, but you can also see that Cyril posted his data visualization in the Oracle Analytics data visualization gallery. So at any time you can say, okay, this is this. You can click on it, and in the future, in the community, we are going to divide between the question Cyril is asking and between the data visualization portfolio he is having. So right now it's a little bit difficult to pin it, but you can see here Cyril posted the initial data visualization, and a lot of people put some comment, and we will do the same when you click on Oracle Analytics Data Visualization Gallery here, and we will put that again in the chat. You will be able to see that Patrick posted the new data visualization here, or I think it was Jamie, inside the data visualization gallery, and my internet access is very slow, sorry about that. And today you will be able to go, you can ask more questions into this data visualization gallery. We will post the DVA in this data visualization gallery. So you can see it's here, US Sales Dashboard Webinar June. You can click on this specific one, and Jamie is going to put the link. And here you will get the DVA, you will get different view of the gallery. You will be able to interact with Patrick. If you have many questions, Patrick is going to answer this question under this specific data visualization. You can see Jamie already put some screenshots. She put a link to the to Patrick, Cyril, and Dustin, so you can mention them in the comments. You can see few comments, and obviously go here, vote for it if you like it. Ask anything you want and leave a comment when we finish the webinar. Okay, perfect. Back to you, Jamie.
Great, thank you. And I was working on finding that link, but it is also going a little slow for me. I think a lot of us are hitting that gallery right now. Let me share my screen. It may be if someone else can post the link for the DV gallery in the meantime. While
I will
wrap
post
this
the
up.
link now. Yeah,
Thank you.
thanks.
All right. So I think we've kind of touched on our conclusion and takeaways already. I think kind of the final thing, Ben already spoke, but like based off of that, those tips that he mentioned earlier today, we have taken this dashboard from one that was already advanced and at the high level of advanced and moved it to an expert level. With the help, thank you, of Patrick and Dustin and the crew that joined us today. Before you guys leave, I am going to run a poll. I also want to cover a few things, but before I do that, let me just go ahead and run the poll so you guys have some time to vote in them. Launch. Okay, here we go. So I have 3 questions in this poll, so please scroll down after you answer one. Just looking for your satisfaction, 1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest. Also, would you be interested in attending or watching a mobile optimization webinar where we have it on a mobile screen? We wanted to do that today, but we realized we wouldn't have enough time, obviously. And so wanted to gauge the interest there. Finally, would you be interested in being featured like Cyril was? If you haven't posted anything yet, go ahead and that's okay. We have an option for that. And if you're not sure, we also have an option for maybe as well. So go ahead and cast your votes there. Even if you say yes, it's not a final guarantee. We will still reach out to you, of course, if you guys are selected. Finally, video replay. It will be available. Give me again to probably the beginning of next week to get those on the community site and also on the Oracle Analytics YouTube page. On the community site, I will probably post a link to it, or it will post a link to it on the event page. I'll try to, anywhere we mention this webinar, I'll try to track back to it so you guys can find it. Also, a blog, we mentioned that. So Patrick will be working on a blog to kind of highlight some of these areas. And then let's see, the mobile optimization webinar, that's tentative, but it looks like a lot of people are interested in that. We want to have a DVA download made available for your future environments, and we will work on seeing if that's possible. Questions in the meantime, we have the Oracle Analytics community. Ask your questions there. Thank you again for joining us today. We really appreciate you hanging on for the entirety of the call, and we hope to see you again in the next session. Thank you all. Bye-bye.